I took this 10 USD and flipped it to over 2000 USD with crash 1000 index, VIX 75 index, crash 500 and boom 1000 index, and I'll be showing you how I navigated in the market to reach that same amount. The free group is still open, but the link to it is only available on my YouTube channel under the video description. So if you're watching this on TikTok and Facebook, you're only watching a quarter of this video. Click this link on TikTok to head to my YouTube channel, and click this link on Facebook to get to my YouTube channel where you can watch more full content as well and finish this video. Let's get this video to 100 likes. Lol. I've given up at asking for 500 likes. Let me just be content with what I get. Yeah, so let's get to the video. Okay, so the first setup that we found is on crash 1000 index, and when you look at it on the weekly chart, we can see that it's already inside the weekly order block, like the bullish order block, so it's sort of reacting. And if you look inside there, you can see that price did wipe off at the low there, and it's headed up. It's sort of shooting up, but I want you to pay close attention to what it did initially when it hit that OB. It went up to that other weekly OB, like the bearish one this time, and it did a wipe as well when it approached there. And what the reason now why it's shooting up is because of that rejection. It wiped and hit that rejection, and now it's shooting up to another weekly bearish OB. And if you look down there, there's also another weekly bullish order block. So it's sort of like price is it's squeezing itself in between. So it's like up and down, up and down, up and down, and then it's either going to shoot up or shoot down. That's what I see on the weekly. Now pay close attention to what it hit. It hit the body of the weekly OB, and it hasn't hit that other body of the weekly OB. It's I don't consider that an OB, but then it hasn't went up to hit the body there. Now the reason it's going to hit the body is because if you look at it in the daily, is because it doesn't hit the daily. It just went, approached, and then shot back down. So I think it's going to have to hit the daily OB, because there's also a fair value gap above there, like above that high. The high obviously contains sell side liquidity, a lot of stops. People have placed their stop losses, take profits there, and it has to shoot up there. Now it's already reacting off of the mitigation block and the body of the daily order block. Let me just say the daily order block. So it has to shoot up to the sell side liquidity, fair value gap, and to hit the daily OB and then shoot down. Are you guys with me? So we can also tell that on the 4 hour, it hit the 4 hour order block. That's the daily order block, like the bullish one that I highlighted earlier, and it wiped. It did a stop hunt and it wiped that low while it hit the 1 hour OB. So you see, it's like things are aligning themselves from the weekly to the 1 hour for price to shoot up. So after it did that, it wiped and then it shot up. The reason it wiped is also because it reached the 1 hour order block and the 30-minute order block. So you sort of have to just continue moving up. It hit the 1 hour OB and 30-minute OB, and then what did it do? It broke structure there. Now after it breaks structure, I think if you've been watching my videos, you know what it has to do. You know what price has to do. Return to an OB and then continue moving up. And if you look closely, there's a potential immediate rebalance that can take place right there on the 4 hour. So there as well is a breaker block on the 30-minute, and further down there, let me zoom in. I think you can already see where I want to highlight. You can see things are in line. That last 1 hour OB is in line with the 30-minute order block. Is it 15-minute order block? 15-minute order block. So it's going to return to OB, that 15-minute order block, mitigation block, or immediate rebalance, and then shoot up. This is our trade, this is what we want price to do, and we expect price to do that as of now. So normally I would start, placing my buys, but we're doing counter trends here. So look at that fair value gap. Look at that fair value gap on the 4-hour chart. It's a big one. So after it fills that fair value gap, what does it have to do? Return. That is, if it hasn't returned right now. So if it hasn't returned right now, price after it fills it, it's going to shoot down. And look at the end of the fair value gap. That end, what's there? The 1-hour order block. Of course, there's a 1-hour order block there, which is an interest point. So as soon as it fills the fair value gap and hits the 1-hour OB, it's going to drop down to where we want it to buy. I mean, that's the counter trend there. We're entering the retracement. We're entering the retracement in hope that we'll catch our normal trend. So it's almost like we're sure that price has to retrace to where we want to buy. So if we're more sure of the retracement than I would actually say I was more sure of the retracement than the buy. I was doubting the buy. That's why I placed the sell limits first instead of the buy limits. And yeah, this is me just placing the sell limits at the 1-hour order block. I think I placed 3. So another possibility is for price to shoot down to that sell side liquidity. Yeah, things are also aligning for the sell, because check how it hit that 4-hour order block, and after it hit that 4-hour order block, it's reacting down, of course, and there's more liquidity. There's a liquidity void further down, like that sell side liquidity. So things might actually just come back there, consolidate, or shoot up or shoot down from there, like at the point where we want to buy. So I would say the sell here is actually much better than the buy, because we are not sure about the buy. It might keep on, shooting down, and it did exactly that. It sold, but yeah, it did cut one position off. So yeah, and look at it, check it out. It did not even react where I wanted to buy. So you see the benefits of entering sort of counter trend is like retracements are always going to take place. There's no way price is going to continue in the same direction. So entering in a retracement is actually safer, sort of, but you should find where you think price will retrace at, like the point. And here we found it, filled the fair value gap and hit the 1-hour OB. And now our count here was at 35 USD. One got knocked out, margin stuff. So from 35 USD, what we went to is VIX 75 index. Now moving on to VIX 75 index, we start off on the weekly, and on the weekly we can tell that price filled that fair value gap and it's plummeting down. Now the reason it respected that fair value gap is because if you check on the left, it hit the weekly breaker block. So from now price might continue falling down or plummeting down, or it might retrace back into that zone, because with that zone it's a liquidity void, and it will fill that liquidity void up till it hit the weekly breaker block. So that's what you see on the weekly. 2 moves here. That's what I see, and it might continue moving down or going up. So let's move to the daily. On the daily we can see price did a wipe. It wiped and then it hit the breaker block and then went down to break structure. That's a BOS or a wipe as well, while it hit the daily OB, and it's reacting off of that daily bullish order block already. So it wiped, went to the bullish OB, and now it wiped, so it might keep on going up until it's consolidated to shoot up or to shoot down. You get me? Price is sort of squeezing in between there. That's what I see on the daily. Right now I don't have a bias, but the general trend is down move, so yeah, we might sell. on the 4 hour, price filled the fair value gap, and that fair value gap is the 4 hour OB, or at the end of that fair value gap is the 4 hour order block. That's why it is reacted off right now. You get me? It's wiped, it filled the fair value gap, and hit the 4 hour OB as well. If you check, there is a wipe that where it created the 4 hour OB, so that means that 4 hour order block is strong, because you know the order blocks that are created from a wipe are strong. The moves have an agenda. So now it broke out. Now it's returning to that order block, and you can see that price had a tough time, you know, shooting down to break there or to wipe. So I think price might go back to that 4 hour order block body, and then shoot up to hit all those stops above there. You guys get what I'm saying? So it might wipe there, hit the 4 hour OB body, and then kill all those stop losses that are waiting above those highs. As you can see how price was just slowly plummeting down to where it's at right now. Now the body is in line with the 1 hour order block. The 4 hour body is in line with the 1 hour order block. That's why we still think price has to wipe once more. And below there is also a fair value gap. Now that fair value gap is on the 1 hour. That's a 1 hour fair value gap, and it hasn't been filled. It's been partially penetrated, but then it hasn't been filled. And currently right now price hit the 4 hour OB. Currently, like right now, it's reacting off a 4 hour OB. So what I want you to notice without using SMC is that price is in a channel. We're using price action right now. Price is in a channel, and that 4 hour OB is in line with the upper trend line of the channel. Do you get what I'm saying? So most likely it's going to fall down to hit the lower channel. You get me? So it's going to wipe and then shoot up. Do you get what I'm saying? Going to wipe and then shoot up. Now the reason it's going to respect is because there's a stop hunt there, and above that stop hunt is like, the reason that stop hunt happened is because it hit the 30-minute OB. So it's a stop hunt, hit the 30-minute OB, broke structure there, and then returned. Now it's falling. You get what I'm saying? You see the trend, and it's respecting that 30-minute order block. If we look down again in the 15-minute, we can see it's a mitigation block on the 15-minute chart. So it's making its own M pattern, and then it will continue plummeting down. So you can tell that M pattern. There is our BOS there, and before that BOS, obviously there was a stop hand there or a wipe. And now what we're waiting for price to do is return to an order block, which is the 15-minute order block, and then we plummet with it. You know, we drop down with it. Now you can see, like, from our trend, yes, my analysis is going with the trend. The general trend is a drop on VIX 75, but you can also tell that there's a possible buy if it reaches at that low. So what I'm going to be doing is to just sell to that low, and then we exit. I'm not too confident in the buy, but I'm like 100% confident in the sell. That's why I went in hard in this trade. I think I entered 0.010, 0.010. Okay, that's not big, but then for a 30 USD account, it's actually a lot. So yeah, I was super confident. You know, channel, you can tell where, you know, why price is respecting there and why it's going to move from there. Now this is the after. It didn't even waste any time there. Just gra, and then dropped. It just dropped. So yeah, this trade was simple, it was accurate, and I could notice it was reacting right at that low, and I felt iffy about it. I wanted it to break, but then I was okay with reaching 90 something, so I decided to exit there, and it actually paid off, because from where I exited, it actually started moving, like it actually reversed, and it shot up if you keep check of VIX75. So for the third trade, we're at 91 USD, and I had my eye on Crash 500. So Crash 500 did that wipe on the daily, was the break of structure on the daily. We started off on the daily here, it broke structure and it did a wipe there. Now you don't notice it because it's the daily. It did a wipe and a break of structure. On the 4 hour, it's more noticeable. So look at it, a wipe and a break of structure there, and it went back or returned back to that daily order block. Now the daily order block, I highlighted it, but I didn't highlight the rejection block it also reacted from. So it then created a change of character there, shot back down to fill the fair value gap, and it propelled up to break structure there. So now you can see it created another high there, and that high is an equal high. It contains buy side liquidity, and after it created those two equal highs, came back down to a daily order block. And what do we expect price to do from there? Of course, we expect it to shoot up into the buy side liquidity, because there are a lot of stops there, there are a lot of buy stops, there are a lot of stop losses. There's a whole lot of liquidity pool that's gathered above there. So when you look down into the 4 hour chart, we can see a very similar setup that's taking place that we saw on the daily. Stop hunt while it hit the daily order block, and a break of structure, a return back down to hit the 1 hour order block, and now it's reacting, going up. So it hit that 1 hour order block, and I want you to see again that it created that same setup. This thing is so simple, you don't need to stress it. So yeah, it made another wipe there, it hit the 1 hour OB, and then it shot up to do what? Break structure. You see it, after it broke structure, price came back to hit what? So look at what it's doing. You see it, it's just wiping, coming back, wiping, and then shooting up. So it has hit the 30-minute OB, the body. So it broke structure, came back to a 30-minute order block, the body of it, and it's reacting up. And it even did it again inside that range again. So you see it's squeezing itself before it shoots up. It did again that stop hunt, and then it hit the 30-minute OB. You see it, and it again broke structure, and then look at that 50-minute OB there, it respected, and it's now reacting off of it right now. You see what I'm saying? It's so simple. It's so simple. And again, if you look at it right now inside that 50-minute OB, look at what it's doing. Okay, let me highlight the mean threshold of the premium and discount. The mean threshold there, it's reacting off. It didn't close below the mean threshold, but what I want you to notice is when it reaches that 50%, what it did was it wiped, and then it wiped again. Now look at what it did after it wiped. It shot up to do what? To break structure. Let me just remove all this. It shot up, now it's breaking structure. So what do we expect price to do? Return to hit that 5-minute OB, and then we make moolah, we make money. It shoots up. You don't need to complicate this thing. This thing was super easy, and I was so convinced that it was going to go up. There's also a possibility that it will go and hit that rejection block, but I think that 5-minute OB is good enough for an entry. So it's going to go up to that buy side liquidity where there is a 4-hour OB, or it will hit the 4-hour OB body. Now I want you to pay close attention to that 4-hour order block body, because things change. It doesn't always go your way. So buy limits, I was setting them there, the top. I wasn't even using the body, I was just using the top of the 5-minute order block. And yeah, I was just right now, I think I was checking how much I'll be risking, or how much I should place in Crash 500 with the 90 something USD account. And yeah, so after some time it didn't hit, it missed us, and then it shot up, and I knew that move was going to be like it was going to be super strong, it was going to be strong. And right now you can see price is headed for our 4-hour OB, the one we marked. So now what I'm thinking is change of plans. It's going to react off of that 4-hour body, and then it shoots down, and then we continue the move up with it. So the 4-hour OB body, there it is. And yeah, that's just where I'm going to sell. The reason is because it has hit the mitigation block before it, and yeah, there's no analysis needed here. You know what it's going to do. It has to retrace back down. We've been seeing that prior to that, it's been retracing. Price has been just breakout, retrace, breakout, retrace. So after it broke out, and then now it's going to fill that fair value gap while it hit the 4 OB, the body, it has to retrace back down. I mean, there's nothing else. Of course, you're just gonna place your sell limits there, and then your stop loss above there. Simple. It's worthy of a risk. This is what I was talking about when I mean like counting trends. And yeah, the little details like the 5-minute OB, there's a wipe off after immediate rebalance, you know, they also matter. But then the trade is as simple as that. You don't even need to complicate it. It hits the 4-hour OB, and then it drops, and then we buy, or we see what to do with it later. And this one, you're sure, because it has to retrace. This is when I was removing my buy limits, and now I was placing my sell limits. So yeah, I was just placing my sell limits. Then I placed it exactly at the 4-hour OB, or yeah, at the 4-hour OB, and exactly at the top of the fair value gap. Yeah, and so this is just me placing the positions. I'm placing the position, and then then afterwards, look at it. It respected, but it cut us out. It penetrated deep. I didn't expect it to penetrate that deep, but I sort of expected it at the same time. So of course I maxed out. You know how I trade. I maxed out on Crash 500 with that 90 USD account, and things didn't go my plan. I think it was hitting. It was getting margin call, like wow, it was cutting out one trade each and every time it is 50%. But fortunately it didn't remove all of the positions we placed, and we managed to get back the cash that we had missed on. Yeah, we had lost. So yeah, price was approaching that 1-hour OB, and I felt like because it had already reacted, it might as well just keep on shooting up. So I decided, you know what, let the boy close the positions, and to be good to start with the 100 USD account, we made like small profits from 91 to like 115, 116, 115. Yeah, it's not a big improvement for this trade, but at least we didn't lose any more profits that we earned. So our last trade will be Boom 1000 index, and we start off on the weekly. On the weekly, we can see that price did that immediate rebalance, so we expected, you know, to shoot up after it does the immediate rebalance, but I don't see it doing so. I don't see it shooting up, because instead of shooting up, it started sort of making lower lows and lower highs, and it looks like it's headed down. So we're now stuck in a range between that high, which contains the buy side liquidity, and that low, which contains the sell side liquidity. So we have to work in between that range, and in between that range there is an immediate rebalance as well, another one, but this immediate rebalance is forcing price to shoot down. Now if you see what happened on the right, is it did a wipe on the immediate rebalance, and it almost hit that weekly order block when it wiped. So price might just consolidate right there and shoot up or shoot down. I don't know what it's going to do, but this is what I see on the weekly. Now I'm saying that because on the daily, it hit that daily order block and shot down. Of course, if we check on the left side of the chart, you can see it also hit the daily bullish OB before it went to that bearish one, and now price is stuck in between. It's also going to approach another internal daily bullish OB, but this time it has filled that fair value gap, so I don't know if it's going to respect that OB or is going to go there. So it will consolidate between those daily order blocks and either shoot down or shoot up. So right now we expect it to shoot up because of that liquidity void, and that's what you see on the daily. It filled that fair value gap, and it has to shoot up into that fair value gap, and then it does that consolidation. So on the 4 hour, it does that M pattern. Now it has to return and shoot down, and we're going to be only capturing the retracement of that move, because right now it has hit the 4 hour OB. We're entering the retracement, isn't it? It has hit that 4 hour OB after it did what? A wipe. After it wiped inside that fair value gap. Look at that, inside that fair value gap, it wiped, hit the 4 hour OB, and now it's going up. Check out that price action. What is happening? Immediate rebalance, respected that immediate rebalance. Now it's going to shoot up. I'll cover it later, don't worry. So it's going to shoot up into that internal buy side liquidity, and above that buy side liquidity, of course, it's the fair value gap. But look at another fair value gap or a liquidity void, is that one, that liquidity void there. So price might aim for that liquidity right there to fair in there. Let's check out our price action. So it wiped and it's making high highs and high lows there, and it's headed for the internal buy side liquidity. It filled that fair value gap, isn't it? Respected the 30-minute OB, and right now it's currently inside an order block. Which one? The 30-minute order block. It's inside, so we expect it to shoot up from where it's at right now into that high. It has to shoot up into that high. That high is also an internal, it contains internal buy side liquidity. So yeah, we have reasons for price to shoot up from right now. So we know prices to return down to rebalance that fair value gap. At the same time, while it hit that rejection, or it hit the, or it fills in the fair value gap on the 15-minute time frame, and that support, I don't know what to call it, it's like a mixture of a 5-minute OB and a mitigation block, but let me just say a support. So I'm confident it has to respect there and then shoot up. We're confident right now it has to, because just check out how we're analyzing before. So I was placing my buy limits right there. I made sure to go all out as usual, so I was just calculating how much to risk in this trade, and yeah, this is just me entering a lot of buy limits. Now look at it, it's now activating our buy limits, and the margin is 109 out of 111 USD inside the account. So woo, it was heated, but I don't think it spent a lot of time. I trusted this trade. I don't know how to explain it so that convincingly, so that you guys feel why I trusted it. But yeah, it spiked immediately a short while after it hit. It was an instant sniper move. And so yeah, this is the afterwards, after some time. You can see that right now it spiked. So after some time, we're at 113 USD, and it had approached the first buy side liquidity high, or a high that contains buy side liquidity, the internal buy side liquidity. And then this is we're at 113, and then this is after now like a long time. This is after a long time, and I think now we're in huge one, when it had spiked even higher. It had even wiped that high there, you get me? So I think I was now convinced that it's done making its swing up, because this is the projection of my analysis. I expected it to do a wild move like this, and yeah, I was actually satisfied with the profit as well. Of course, I wanted it to reach to that, but I didn't see it shooting up to there for some reason. I was like, it won't go to that fair value gap. Of course, I wanted it to go to the fair value gap, but yeah, things happen. And here we're at 218 USD, and that's where I decided to close. I were in profits, and yeah, this is your boy closing the account at 330 from just 10 USD. Okay, now I know what you must be thinking. The video is about to end and Prime haven't shown us the trade to 2000, and the simple explanation is it's a clickbait. Yeah, I forgot to click the record button when I was making the Boom 500 analysis, guys, so it was my mistake. So let me just go through the trades that I took after we reached the 330. So there is that 330, and we dropped to 160. We ended up dropping again to 70 USD, and we were facing a loss. But after some time, I picked it up to 340 again with Boom 500 index, and you can see where we caught the sell. I exited and entered a Boom 500 again in a sniper sell, and it plummeted down to like that low, I think, where I ended up exiting. And you can see here we're close to reaching our 2k target, and by this screenshot we had reached it. We reached our target, guys. We are breaking barriers each and every video. Thank you for watching my videos. I know I disappointed by not showing you the trade, but yeah, I'll catch one next time for you. Deuces.